Hello, and welcome to Envoy's Fair Chance Conversation Series, where we speak with experts and thought leaders in the fair chance employment space. I am Solomon Moreno Rosa, and I help support Envoy's fair chance hiring engagements through community partnership development. And I'm also here with my colleague, Alex.
Hey everyone, I'm Alex Love. I focus on human resources and diversity, equity, inclusion, and specifically looking at policies and practices as it relates to fair chance hiring.
And today we are really thrilled to be joined by Monique Williams, who is the Senior Planning Program Portfolio Manager at American Family Insurance Institute for Corporate and Social Impact, which is the social impact arm of American Family Insurance, which is an outstanding leader in fair chance employment. Monique, welcome.
Welcome. Thank you for having me.
Monique, we've had a chance to speak with a wide range of employers and workforce leaders through this conversation series. But American Family has really demonstrated a particularly strong commitment to fair chance employment. So I'd love to just hear from you a little bit about American Family Insurance and why the company decided to invest so much time and energy into its fair chance hiring initiative.
Yeah. I'll say first that American Family Insurance is an amazing company that takes every opportunity to support the communities in which our customers are part of. And I think that for us, implementing a fair chance hiring initiative um, wasn't a project that we started from ground up. We were already a fair chance employer. We would just wanted to make sure we were walking the walk. Um, and so we wanted to take a deeper dive and look into our policies and procedures and make sure that we were 100% a fair chance employer and that we were inclusive of the communities in which we serve.
That's great. It's really important that companies are actually walking the walk. We see a lot of talk in the talk. Um, can you describe how you've helped kind of create the business case on fair chance hiring, especially in your role? Were there any resources or education that AmFam leaders needed in order to make them champions of fair chance hiring?
So I want to say that this work was led years prior to me coming on board, or a little over 2.5 years ago. I stepped into this work under the vision of Nara Jordan, who is our director, and led this work prior to me coming. I will say that there was not a necessary business case. Like, I don't feel like there was ever a place where we had to fight to get this initiative started, or no one didn't see the value on our leadership team. We did provide resources. We did a lot of research and provided things like a fair chance hiring language guide, which gave a tool that talked about this particular language when using or to describe individuals who are just as impacted, right? That are going to possibly be members of our teams. Things like that helped. We did multiple rounds of what I call them round robin rounds, where I went and did like a tour of different departments and spoke about this work and why it was important. And I'll say that after each of those conversations, I was definitely approached by leaders who wanted to be involved and wanted to see how they could engage and how they could be more inclusive in their own teams. So I don't know if it was a necessity to educate so much or rally the champions. I think those champions just evolved and already were part of this company. And I think that justice involvement or justice impacted individuals or something that impacts so many of us. And so I think that it was an easy sell, to say the least. I haven't had to create like a business case of why this work has been important or why it was necessary for us as a company.
That is really awesome to hear that the commitment to fair chance employment really trickled down from the top. We know that so much of this work is really hinged on strong partnerships with community-based organizations, and would love to just hear a little bit about how you and your team are leveraging the programs and support services of local community partners. What do these collaborations look like, and kind of what are you finding in these partnerships with community organizations?
Absolutely. So there would be no fair chance hiring program or project or initiative or any of the sort without these local community organizations that we partner with. We partner with small, large, national, and local organizations, local to just Madison, Wisconsin. The one thing that I search for when building these partnerships is focus that's similar to our focus. I'm always looking for the disruptors, right? Those organizations that are disrupting the system, and actually providing resources and supporting the communities that we serve. And then I look for organizations who are looking to grow. I look for places where I can actually go in and learn. It may be something as long as I've been doing this work, I'm always looking for a place to gather resources for my own team and to be able to support us in building new partnerships and better partnerships. So each partnership, I'm always looking for how I can connect them with the last partnership or a new partnership. And so that's been like the successful way for us to partner with organizations. And one thing that we've learned, even as this summer, is that we're not the gurus as an insurance company. We're not the gurus of fair chance hiring. It's just not a thing. But we've become a connector in these communities where we're able to link these different partnerships or these different organizations who didn't even know they existed. And so that's kind of where I think our niche is and our space is. And so that's what I'm looking for when I look for a successful partnership, is like how I can link them with other organizations that I'm already working with.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. We love to hear that. I think the connections between all of the local community partners and national community partners, as well as the employers, is so important. Shifting a little bit to my favorite topic, thinking about talent, as your team went through the process of implementing and growing the Fair Chance Hiring Initiative, what was one of the learnings that you and the talent team took away from this process?
Starting from the bottom, like I think that the most success that we've had as a team, I don't want to say but we had as a team, was starting from the bottom, right? Looking at what we already had, what we already did, where we currently stood as a fair chance employer, and kind of setting a goal and then just going from there. Honestly, we were able to, with the help of Envoy's team, we were able to take a deep dive and look at our policies and procedures, right? And see we're already doing this work and where our gaps were, where there were spaces where we could have been more inclusive. And we just took some ownership of that and doubled down on making changes to those policies and those procedures, bringing in other team members with some interesting experience and having them be a part of the conversation to help us make new policies and procedures. So I think that's the one learning that we all have, is like just starting at the ground, and not necessarily reinventing the wheel, but looking at what we have and where we want to go and building from that.
Love that, and love to hear just a little bit about what the journey looked like for you and the team. And would love to just continue this thread and think about the journey ahead. So, what do you see, Monique, as some of the big goals for AmFam's Fair Chance hiring efforts as you're looking to 2023 and beyond? Would just be curious to hear from you, kind of how you're looking to grow this initiative and what you're hoping to achieve through this ongoing work.
Yeah, I wish I could say that we were done, right? Like we're a fair chance employer and we're done. No, but it's not that simple. I think we did a lot of work, and I'm really proud of the work that came out of this initiative. But we did a lot of work with, which like I said, changing those policies and procedures and implementing some different processes that would increase our visibility to those that are just as impacted individuals, and to be more inclusive in our hiring. So my goals, and I think our company goals, is to still use those channels of recruitment, right? Like, and to keep increasing those recruitment channels. There's a lot of organizations that we didn't even know existed that literally could feed our talent pipeline, right? And so I think that has been the goal. We've implemented these processes and procedures. It is now standard practice for as an inclusive hire, like to manage our background check process in a certain way, and the review of applicants' background status as a certain way. Like all of that's in place, and that's like standard. So now it's just getting more and more individuals to actually apply and be hired. And so just increasing our talent pipeline is it. And those partnerships that increase our talent pipeline has been the focus and the goal, I think, as of now. Just so that I want to say, like, in 2 years, we can do another look at it and see what the increase was, and actually have numbers to back up like this process that we went through this past 2 years.
Absolutely. That's really helpful to understand. One of the things that we always love to ask is, given all of the experiences that you have had with this initiative and growing it and continue to connect community partners, what advice would you give to employers interested in kind of building these best-in-class fair chance initiatives at their organization?
Everyone's not going to be on board, right? Be prepared to be the bad guy to some and a savior to others, right? Um, do it intentionally with put your bias to the side, like come in with an open mind, ready to 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 change the structure of your organization, right? And it could be life changing for others, and it could be life changing for this organization as a whole. And then just think of the bigger picture, I guess, is my advice when you're going to embark on something this large. And then get a team of champions. Like I've been grateful that like in each of our departments, HR, talent acquisition, inclusive excellence, like I have my champion, right? I have my go-to person that I can call, that can join a committee with me, join a roundtable with me, and have a conversation to spread the knowledge of why this is important. They'll champion your work when you're not in the room. They'll champion this initiative when you're not in the room. Like find those people. I think it makes the process a lot easier. And I think that makes it's a little, I mean, it's a lighter blow at night when you have a team of individuals who have your back and who stand behind this work. And then get your leadership on board, right? It starts at the top. And it starts at the top. It will not be easy. I think the total process of from start to finish took us over 18 months, right? And that's a lot of time and money and resources built into this. And then at the same time, still continuing to build partnerships. So just keep that in mind, that it's not going to be an overnight process. Some people will not be interested. Everyone has had their own life experiences, and you're going to deal with some bias. And I think that's just putting some processes in place to combat that. Some additional training for team members is helpful. Things like that is what's made it successful. And I think it's just be prepared for the long fight, honestly.
Yes, the long fight and the bigger picture.
Absolutely.
I think so happy that we were able to kind of pepper you with some of these questions and hear a little bit more about the journey. I think something that has always struck me specifically about American Family is that there was already so much that existed in terms of ethos and also support for folks that have been justice impacted. And I think to your point around part of your policy and practices process was just uncovering some of the really great work that's already happening that maybe isn't as advertised or marketed, but AmFam has been doing really great work in this space. And it sounds like you have only kind of codified that, added some more structure, and really then walked the walk and continue on this bigger picture and kind of longer journey. So figuring out how to continue to support folks. And I think we just really admire watching the whole journey. And thank you so much for spending this time with us. We really appreciate it. We love hearing more. And back to you, Solomon.
This was really great, Monique. Can't thank you enough for your time and really do appreciate your perspective on all these questions.
Absolutely. Thank you and your team also for all of your help. As you guys helped us go through the biggest part of this process of getting our team on board, our company on board. It's been a journey, but it's like really, really refreshing 2 years in to see how much we've done. And we're asked daily how and where did you start? And so I think I want to say kudos to you and your team as well for all of the assistance that you guys provided us as well.
We appreciate that. We appreciate that. And have to say, working with the American Family team, there are some passionate folks over there, and we really appreciate all the engagement. Well, thank you again for this time.
Thank you, Monique.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys.